My daughter's getting ready for a fire, but if you don't mind, I'm going to start right here. Jack Moss. He's been here a number of times. I want Jack to come up, introduce your group. Say whatever you want to say, Jack.
Y'all in trouble. My dad was a Baptist preacher.
Let's see here. Where's my wife?
Get comfortable.
I got to tell you how I met Ron and Don, and then all this came about. Joel, I called Joel after I talked to them, and he had never seen me, known me, anything about it. He said, come on, because I asked him if I could come out here, and because I want to do a painting of I'm a Western artist, and I'm going to introduce a couple more guys here that are part of a group of ours, and I want to do a painting of the recapture of Cynthia Ann. And I just want to get a feel of it, knowing that the river changes and landscape kind of changed, but and Joel came up, opened the gate, and said, go in there and do what you want to, when you want to, and come anytime you want to. And that's a very generous and kind man, and I appreciate it so much. I do have a picture of the painting, by the way, that you guys see. I am a friend with a fellow that lives in Quanah that has a ranch named James Fuquay. He's also a friend of the Parkers. And I was at his ranch taking photographs for resource for Western paintings when they were working cattle. And I told him, I said, I'd really like to get on that site of where the recapture was, so, I want to do this painting. And he said, well, I need to introduce you to Ron and Don Parker. And I said, who are they? Who's Ron and Don Parker? And he said, great-grandsons of Quanah. Then I melted at that point in time, and I headed home on the Friday. I got to the house, I live in Llano, and I got to the house, and the phone rang, and it was James, and he said, here is Ron's phone number, and he wants to talk to you. So I called Ron and told him kind of what I wanted to do, and now again, there's a guy that had never seen me, never talked to me or anything. He said, we'll be in September at the symposium, the Cowboy Western Symposium in Lubbock. And we have a booth there. Won't you bring some of your art, set up in our booth, and we'll visit. And I did. And the final thing after that is that he came by my vehicle when I was fixing to leave and says, now you're part of the family. So that's how I met these guys that are all super, and then everybody else that I've met. In fact, we talked OU football the last time I was here. And by the way, Baker Mayfield, who was selected number 1 in the NFL draft, is from Lake Travis High School, where old Jack Moss was athletic director. So I'm not getting any of his money, though. I don't know what's the deal, because he's fixing to make a lot. David Godfrey, the gentleman right here. We have an organization called Western Artist Roundup, and there's 7 of us. And we do art shows along with individual art shows where we set up and they're demo art shows where we set up and paint. We have art there, and we have just finished a couple of them. One was in Austin. We're going to be doing one at the Western Museum of Western Art in Kerrville the first part of June. And these guys, I asked Ron again, I said, whenever he called and said, you want to come, and I said, I've got some guys that are friends that are great Western artists, and if I asked them, can they come? And he said, absolutely. And that involved Glenn, because he's a good friend with Tim, and so it was just kind of a multiple events there. And then Tim Vanya is next to him, and Glenn Cochran and his wife are next to them, and he's a rancher doctor. If you get sick tonight, he can take care of you. In the Caldwell area, I don't know if you're in College Station or Caldwell, or anyway. And we had a meeting on his ranch, and he was very kind at that. So anyway, that's how we got to know each other, and I'm so proud to be friends with the Parkers.
You see the teepee right there behind you? The owner is Ken Leblanc. He's been bringing the teepee for us to use at Lubbock every year for a number of years now. And you go in that teepee, and he's got some amazing things. So I'd like for Ken to come up and talk a little bit. And his wife, Shirley, if she wants to come up.
You go ahead, dear. Okay. Get your watches ready. You never know about them.
They have a timer here.
I'll keep this pretty short because I know Ron and his daughter and everything have to do a ceremony here. I've studied Indians since I was about 14 in the Boy Scouts. And I've studied Comanches in particular ever since me and Shirley got married out of self-defense because she's Comanche. They're a fascinating culture and they're a fascinating people. And there's never been anybody quite like them in history. The Mongols and Genghis Khan came close maybe, but no one liked the Comanches. They were fierce, but at the same time they were family oriented. And I want to tell you one story. One time I asked Melvin Kirchie, who was the head man for the Comanches, I said, how come the Comanches converted to Christianity so quickly? And he said, well, he says, you got to think about Comanche thinking and Indian thinking in general. He says, you're thinking like a white man. He says, from an Indian point of view, to be a warrior, your whole life is about self-sacrifice. And if it comes down to it, that self-sacrifice includes your life. And he said, for us, when we were viewing and taught by the black robes about God and Christianity, we realized that Christ, if he died for all people, he was the greatest warrior who ever lived. And that made sense. And it's different than what people normally think, but it makes a lot of sense. Shirley and I are in a number of different events like the Ranch and Heritage Center and also the Cowboy Symposium, but every year we do probably 20-odd presentations around the country for schools and historical societies and different things, and we've enjoyed it tremendously over the years. The Comanches, if you don't know, and I wanted to recommend the book that was talked about earlier. That probably is one of the best books I've ever read on this aspect of the Comanches when Cynthia Ann was captured back over here by Charles Goodnight, and Solar Ross, and several others. There's a vast amount of misinformation about that because that's what Solar Ross used to become governor of Texas. And and you were right. It wasn't a fight. It was a slaughter. About the only 3 people I think that came out of it alive were Cynthia Ann, Quanah, and his brother, and they got away. So you're in a very special place, and you're in a very sacred place. And like he noted before, I don't think Quanah ever came back here because there was bad spirits here for him. So walk the ground and realize it's hallowed ground because there's many a Comanche that died right here, and most of them were women and children. And with that, I'll get out of the speaking business and go back over where I'm at. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ken. My daughter is getting close to getting ready when we get to Fargo in here. Jake Van Dyke, where's he at? This gentleman's from Alabama, and I enjoyed speaking with him today, and I wanted him to say something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. Tom Crum invited me, I think, sometime last year, and I said if my legs would work, I'd be here. And somehow I had some problem with my elbow, and they gave me some medicine for that, and my legs are working, so I'm here. And I praise the Lord for that.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Two gentlemen sitting right here. Come up here. I know Tim, but right there. Blue hat. Come up and say something to us. Both of you.
Howdy. I'll keep this real short because I don't really know what to say, but I want to thank everybody for being here, Tom and the whole family, letting my dad and I come here and learn about it and just be a part of the whole experience. It's truly fascinating, and it really is a pleasure and an honor to be allowed to be here to meet everybody and just learn more about the history, whether it some unpleasant, but it needs to be learned. So I'll stop there. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Matt.
My name is Mike Mullican, and I'm here because of Tom Crum. He's somehow created, in a way, this gathering. It's such a sacred thing and special thing, and it's wonderful to see the response that you people have given each other, and respect for the Indians and the white people at one time were killing each other on these very grounds, and now time and forgiveness has allowed us to come together as friends and work together to future endeavors together. And so many generous people have made this happen. Of course, Ron Parker is a key element, and Tom, and then the Lowrys for allowing us to come back onto these grounds and to enjoy it and so forth, and to be so generous in that, and then the response of all the people, and then the Indians that have come and worked so hard to create these special ceremonies for us. It's special. It's just so special, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. You ready? My daughter, who's very strong, as all women are. She's going to do some things. My daughter's where's my granddaughter at? Oh, I got a granddaughter out here somewhere. She's named after Cynthia Ann, too.
Maruwe. Naniatsa, Cindy Famero. Hello, my name is Cindy Famero. Most of you I know, if not by face. The time we spent here 2 years ago, was one of the best times that I'd had, to be honest with you, with a bunch of white people. That's in a good way. It's really in a good way. And so we want to always bring it back to you, because I know you carry it with a good heart, and you take it away with a good heart. And that's what we want. That's what we need as Native people. We need you to take the message of our story and tell the truth about it, because it's not happening, and you all know that. Thank you for those that have written books that are truthful about it as well. And so we appreciate that. These are my sisters. We're Sweat Sisters. We're sisters in Wellbriety. We're also the founders of Warrior Woman Society. Look us up. We appreciate that, like our page. Right, like and share. So we're from different nations. She's actually, my sister here is Comanche, and I'm Comanche and Sioux, Oglala, and Shelby is Chickasha. from Chickasha. So we're going to sing. My dad has always loved the strong woman song, and so we like that because so in Canada in the 70s, the Native women up there were not treated well as today. But in prisons, the prisons were deplorable. They had very little, they had hard beds, concrete beds, and very little warmth. It was very dark, drab. The food was, pretty bad. So the only thing that they could do to keep their spirit alive was they made this song up, was to sing this song. And so from what I understand, it was the only thing that nobody could take from them. And it raised their spirits. Some of them died there, but they were all free when they sang the song. And then we're gonna sing a second song called "Talking with the Grandmothers." When we go into the lodge, we talk, with the grandfathers, which are the rocks. And so this particular song that I'm singing, we're singing second, is "Talking with the Grandmothers," which I really loved. Here's my drum. So we would like to be able to, I'm not sure whose daughter has passed, but I think there's a few members. And so I consider all of you my family. And with your loss, it's our loss. And that's the same way in Indian Way. So for those people that have lost that family member within the last year, we will go, whenever we're done here, we'll go into a pipe ceremony in the teepee. And so that would be for the immediate family, so it's kind of private. So we can, shed some tears if we need to. But it's a very sacred time. There's some things that you cannot film, like the pipe ceremony and the altar. So those things are important for the Lakota ways. And so I know the Comanches didn't really do that, but we're starting.
Tomorrow we're going to Medicine Mounds, and I got the I know the owner, he's not here right now, I don't think, Mr. Buffkin. But we do have the foreman of the ranch there. So Stephen Sparkman, if you'd come up and say something to us.
Good evening. I'm Stephen Sparkman. I'm the manager of the Medicine Mountain Ranch, and Frank, the owner, Frank Buffkin's the owner. He'll be here tomorrow. He came in today, but they didn't get in as early as they would like, so they didn't come over tonight. I'm just very thankful to be involved in this, and I'm glad through a mutual friend that I got to meet Ron Parker, and he's become a friend of mine, and all of you also. I think that's just the spirit of the gathering, that everybody comes in as friends and trades stories and trades information, and we all become closer. I think the learning of each other's cultures, and especially the past Comanche culture, is very interesting, and I know it is to my family. My daughters and granddaughters are here this year, and they're lucky to be involved. I'm lucky to be invited, and they are too. And I told them it was a special invitation, so they were very pleased to have a special invitation. And Randy made it here tonight, so I haven't seen Randy in 2 years, I think, since we were here last. So it's good to see old friends and tell stories and enjoy one another. And I appreciate you, Ron, for inviting us. Thank you.
Speaking of, I was here, I think, 2 years ago, and somehow I ended up with no place to sleep. And there's a man that gave up his bed. Randy, where you at? Come here, Randy.
He needs your chair this year.
He gave up his bed last night, last 2 years ago, and he slept in this van. It probably wasn't very comfortable, his pickup. So, Randy Bowman from Mountain Park, Oklahoma. Ken Drew, you're next.
Oh my goodness, I guess I'm supposed to say something here, something intelligent. Well, you got to watch out, I'm an Okie, so I may not be able to say anything intelligent. But no, I'll tell you what, this is my, I think, third time to camp out, and it's my fourth time to be here. I actually came here with a fairly small group. Gosh, when was that? I think it was in 2010. It was the 150th, I guess, anniversary of the recapture of Cynthia Ann here. There was a small ceremony, and I had an opportunity to come out here, thanks to Ron. And anyway, this is just a great opportunity for people that have that share a lot of interest, especially in the Comanche history and what happened at this particular site. I know it's very touching and meaningful for the family to be able to come out here. And I know Cindy, a couple of years ago, I think this was the first time she was here, she went out and actually bathed in the Pease River like her, my goodness, would it be great-great-grandmother did, most likely. But anyway, my hat's off to the Lowrys for allowing us to come out here and do this, to continue to do this. And again, like I always say, it's just my honor and pleasure to be here. So Ron, thank you very much for allowing me to come. Thank you, sir.